Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Salt, Ships, and Scuttlebutt, a World of Warships podcast hosted by yours truly, fresh from vacation and fresh on to night shift, Captain Greene, 123, and joined, as always, by
Mr. Sealord Mountbatten of the YouTube verse, who is fresh from a mortgage meeting, so there's that.
That's kind of like a vacation.
Not really. Well, I mean, I give them all my money, but I don't go anywhere. So there's that.
Yeah, so you get the pain on both.
Yeah. It's numbers, interest rates were said, and I was like, oh, okay. I just want the house, please.
Please let me live in not shoebox.
Yes.
Speaking of house, what broke this week?
The roof.
Again?
No. They actually just had that completely replaced. Nothing's broken now. However, 80% of the house has been replaced at this moment. So there's nothing left to break. As I say, the wall behind me falls over or something. I
was just gonna say, you're being very, very optimistic. However, I like that. So
the flooring.
We'll stay on that.
The flooring's getting replaced. That's next. Okay. But that's a continuation of previous events. So I don't know if
that's not like the floors opened up and the Dark Lord himself tried to take somebody late one night or something.
No, it's been a quiet week, thankfully, as far as housing goes.
That's good. I did not have a quiet week. In my infinite foreplanning wisdom, I think I texted you as I was boarding my flight to go on vacation. I was like, oh yeah, hey, by the way.
Yeah.
I went down last week. I spent most of the week in Florida, and then I spent a good portion of the remainder of that week in Huntsville, Alabama. I got the wink, wink, nudge, nudge from my boss. Hey, go on vacation, go do your thing, which I'm really happy I got because I came back and I've been told that I'm going officially to the dungeon that is third shift. So
that's why he allowed you an ounce of freedom before throwing you to the pits.
So I ended up my grandparents in Florida. My grandmother is not as mobile as she used to be, but she's still very mobile for her age. So we did a lot of like swimming in the pool and arts and crafts and cookings and stuff because I'm 27. I'm hanging out with my grandparents. I'm happy that they're there. I don't really care what we do.
I picture you like it was in like a tiny chair making like macaroni art or something.
Basically. But again, it was with my grandmother, so it's like a lot of rock collages, she calls them, where we'll take a piece of wood, paint something on the back, and then paint small rocks and try and like outline the original painting that we put on the board. So that was stuff like that. It was very cool.
Yeah, those can come out pretty
neat. And then with my grandfather, it was drinking. I was doing the drinking. He doesn't drink. I did a lot of drinking and a lot of fixing and rebuilding. My grandfather is physically incapable of like not doing anything. He always has to have a project. He always has to have something. So like he rebuilds motorcycles in his spare time, and he goes on like 10-mile bike rides every day. He does a whole bunch of different stuff to keep himself active.
That's good.
Now, my 600-pound ass did not go on a 10-mile bike ride in Florida. I have to be 100% honest on that. I was melting. But I did help with some motorcycle repairs. And the other thing is he has one of those little, what is it, a key? The little Japanese trucks?
Oh, the little key trucks, K trucks or whatever?
Yes. So he before this, he had a Pontiac Aztec, and he was known throughout the area for. I now have the Aztec.
Oh, really?
Great car.
You have an Aztec?
Yes, I do.
Man.
I do. It's a wonderful car because like it doesn't have many mechanical issues, but like it's kind of like Charlie Brown where something will happen and it's just kind of depressing. Like I spilled actually some Monster on the hood of it once. I was going to a museum up here in Boston. This was a few years ago. And when I came back, bees had eaten the top layer of paint off of the hood where the monsters were. So there's just like a scab on the front of my car. Thankfully, I gave that to my brother, and I now have the BMW. But to replace that, he thought that him and Meme could share one car. Turned out not to be the case. So he went out and he bought a key truck. It took a lot of convincing, but he bought a key truck.
Where did you got those?
And that thing,
because like you can't import them. I thought. I guess you.
No,
can.
you can.
You can.
Oh, okay. You can't, dude. We have them in the People's Republic of Massachusetts.
Really?
Like, yeah. I think it's like 39 states that you can now have them in.
Oh, okay.
And Florida, they had a really big importer, and my grandfather just kind of went down, and the guy was like, 15. And my grandfather's like, yeah, that's not going to happen. And the guy's like, 14? And my grandfather's like, I have not seen a truck leave this lot in 3 months. I'm willing to do business here, but I'm not going to get screwed. And then he bought a key truck for $8,000.
Dang. Yeah.
But it was very fun driving that thing around. My favorite part is you drive stick because so I'm gonna do this. I have to do this in reverse here, but it's left hand shift because it's a right hand drive.
Oh yeah.
It gets better. On your transmission, is reverse up or is fifth up?
On my 68 C10, it's 4 in the column, so it's 2U and up. On the Camaro, it was 2U and up. You know, on the floor, 2U and up. So left and up was reverse in the Camaro.
No. Okay, so every truck that I've ever driven has fifth gear all the way closest to the driver and forward. Mm-hmm. That is not the case on the key truck. And I found that out going 75 miles an hour in fourth gear. Ooh. And my grandfather was like, "Oh, you gotta fucking put it in the fifth. Here we go." And I'm like, "Yeah." And I jam it forward and it just I'm like, "Oh, what was that?" And he was like, "Remember how I was talking to you about, the truck kind of speaks to you?" It just screamed at you that you shifted it into neutral at reverse 70 miles an hour. So learn that lesson. But other than that, it was good fun banging around. Then went to Huntsville to visit some friends and ended up going to the Huntsville Veterans Museum, which was an incredible museum. And met with some of the Bonks guys, and I also met with a Mr. Maddog. How we doing, Mr. Dog?
What's going on, Greene and Sealord?
I know. It's a little bit of an intro, huh?
Had to walk it was.
A sequester down there for 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. It was all a build-up.
Nice surprise when I got the message you were coming down. So
yeah. So, because what was it? Philadelphia? When was that? July last year?
Yeah, it's the COVID super spreader.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get COVID. I was strong.
Half of
all of you guys.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know how to. I was in a classroom with children for the entire year, and half the class would get COVID. I was just stuck there, couldn't leave work. Then I got the flu the next year after COVID was done, of course.
I think my only COVID story was I was landscaping during COVID, and there was a woman who was wearing, I swear to God, 9 masks. Opened up the second story window of her house and was like, "Put a mask on!" I'm like, "Listen, this is a 4-acre property. I'm not going to be anywhere near you."
Let me do my work in peace.
And she's like, "Put it on! I'm not paying!" I'm like, Fine. That was it. That was the one moment where I was like, "Okay, this is a little weird." Other than that, I didn't really notice anything. But yeah. Yeah. So the other thing is like I said, I got shifted to third shift, and if you couldn't tell, I look even more haggardly shittier than I normally do. That has been a wonderful transition. I either sleep for 10 hours or I sleep for 3, and then I can't go back to bed. So we're doing fantastic.
Adjusting well, it seems.
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, we do have some boats news, which is good because this is a boats podcast, and we get yelled at anytime we talk about something that is not World of Warships. For some reason,
who would think that?
Dude, that still amazes me that you had somebody who was like, I don't care what happened in fucking I don't care that Mountbatten's car got hit by a bus. Talk about torpedoes. And I'm like,
oh man. I still haven't gotten my insurance money for that yet. That's so sad. They've been talking to the other insurance company for like half a year now or whatever.
Oh my goodness. Well,
boats.
We can start here. Yeah, start with boats. I think, don't we have a new game mode here? Or new operation that came out?
No, this Perilous Route, but we've talked about that. Yeah, no, this update's when Perilous Route came out, but we talked about that. One of the ones when you were not here.
Oh. See. Sorry. Wait, what is it? What's this Dunkirk thing I have in my port?
That's the card game. Also
card game.
Also in the same podcast when you weren't here.
That wasn't here. Didn't get that. I was too busy zonked out and listening to Greg's Airplanes and Automobiles. Well, that too. Yeah, making rock art and shifting into reverse, and that was so fun. I came back into the house and my mom was like, oh my goodness, how was it? Driving around with your grandfather. I was like, I'm 90% sure I owe my grandfather a new transmission.
Surprisingly, you shift into reverse because on the Camaro, it's like 5th and then down is 6, but you go over all the way to the right and up. That's to the left and up earlier, so to the right and up is reverse. So like you could accidentally, if it didn't lock you out, go from like 5th to reverse, which would just delete the transmission in a Camaro. But surprisingly, it didn't lock you out of it. That's interesting.
The radio didn't work. I don't think there's many technological
no, probably not
updates on that key truck. So
fascinating.
But yeah, no, it was still great because
hey, as long as it's still grinding, there's still gears there.
Exactly.
Just remember that.
The other thing is like, you're not going to believe it. I am not a light person, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah, I took some water.
Yeah, sorry. But I didn't max out the suspension or anything. I didn't have any problems. The one thing that kind of sucked and forced me to drive like a New England driver, which I was fine with doing, is it does not have power steering. So I had to take my corners kind of sharp because that thing, it was funny. If you were above like 5 miles an hour, it was perfectly fine. I did not realize any difference. The second it dropped below 5, it was I need fucking Popeye and all the King's horses and all the King's men to fucking turn this wheel.
My 68 C10 obviously doesn't have power steering either. I drove that to high school, all right? And they gave me...
Well, that explains, you got a little beef on your body there, man.
Dude, I was so strong. I was in marching band in high school. I played baritone. We didn't have the...
That's not...
What?
Wait, what's a baritone?
Exactly. Let me finish.
Well, that's true, but you said marching band. I'm like, nerd.
Oh, yes, but I played baritone, all right? And like some high schools, they have the baritones you put on your shoulder for marching. Ours looked like a very fat trumpet. They weighed 40 pounds. You had to hold them in your hands. And we had to, get the angle right. What was it? Oh, I can't do that too much. Look like Elon Musk there for a second. But it was like 45 degrees. What was it, 45 degrees? No, you played in the pit. You didn't have to hold up a horn. So I had to, hold a baritone at whatever angle we had to hold it up for practice for 7 hours in the summer, and I drove a truck without power steering, so I was very strong. But they gave me the most stupid parking spots, so I would have to do 3 or 4 point turns in the parking spot to get into my parking spot without any power steering, no power brakes, and a manual truck from the 60s. Oh yeah, that gives you an upper body workout.
I don't want to sound rude, but I'm going to sound rude.
Yeah, go ahead.
I looked up baritone, and I want you to know that Google auto-corrected to Barack Obama.
I did not play a Barack Obama.
Either I completely misspelt it, or
you know what a trombone is? The slidey one.
No, yeah, I played the trombone actually.
That's what a baritone is. It's the same thing.
I didn't play it for long. I didn't play it for long. This is not the same thing.
It's the same thing. It's the same.
This is just a big trumpet with more valves.
It's the same pitch.
No, it's. I don't know what pitch is. I did not play for very long.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's not a trumpet and it's not a tuba. It's in the middle.
Do you want to know? I'm doing this because. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. This came up as Barack Obama. So I want you to know that in high school you played a Barack Obama, according to Google.
Oh, man,
it's a good nickname now.
There you go. This is not anything like a trombone. I think you're smoking crystal if you believe that this is a trombone.
It's the same. They produce the same sound.
It's like a tuba.
Yeah, it's a tuba, but not a tuba.
It's like a tuba that went on Ozempic. That's all that this
Tuba
is.
Junior, yeah.
Tuba Junior.
Type in marching baritone. See if the one that I played comes up. I'll show you what I had to lift up for. What did you get handed like hydrogen peroxide or something?
Nope, it is a Coors Banquet,
and
I forgot that I was on webcam. Are we allowed to?
It's you. I don't think Spotify cares. I know YouTube doesn't care. Right there, that picture. Go down. That's a marching baritone.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to hold that thing up in the sun.
What the fuck? What is this? Like, what? Okay, this is a big Trump. Never mind. We're getting off topic. World of Warships. Development. Holy shit.
This is beautiful.
I love this.
I don't care about Sea Lord's baritone. Talk about boats.
I don't care about Sea Lord's Barack Obama. I don't care. All right, so content, rarity, and ship rotation. That's a great transition. I don't know why this is happening.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't. This isn't. I think that this is an interesting system that could certainly fit within the purview of World of Warships. However,
why
this late and this Bible verse of a dev blog, I don't think is necessary. We're not doing like World of Warships trading cards for boats. Like, I'm not going to trade you 3 Stalingrads for a Shikishima. I don't know what is going on here.
Like, the only thing...
Why this has to be so long.
The only thing I can see is, like, there is, some cases where, like, newer players, they'll get really lucky and get, like, some ultra-rare mega ship from a super container or something, and they don't really know what they have. Yeah. I could see that. But, like, there are multiple issues that need to be addressed before we get to the, okay, let's introduce the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card system for the boats, right?
It also adds more confusion as well.
Yeah.
What classifies each ship going somewhere, too. So,
actually, can we put duplex lower than common? Can we just put unwanted for duplex? Unwanted. Holy shit. But, like... I don't know. We'll go through this, but I'm struggling to like understand the need for this system. Like I don't need a gold bar to tell me that the Kitakame is kind of unique. I don't need that. If I was a newer player, I can understand that this system is important, and I think that this could be good. Counterpoint. Newer players aren't getting Kitakami. So all of these like super ultra omega ships, like they're not, they already said multiple times they're not giving away old Wisconsin. Okay. And Kitakame, they said that that's not coming back for like 1 to 3 years.
It's actually this December. It's the time's up.
Okay, never mind. Shoot me. Oh, the time's up? It's not even...
Well, that's the same thing. Like, technically, defense is time's up right now, but there's nothing on it.
Yeah, I mean, like, the window that they gave the Kitakami opens up this November, December for it to come back.
I see. Okay.
For the 2 years.
Yeah, the 2 years are up this November, whatever patch it came out in.
The other thing is like, I don't know if it was like PTSD or Stockholm syndrome, but my mind blocked out how like horrible it was to acquire the Kitakami.
Yes.
I remember it was like trade your firstborn son, sacrifice your family over a copper bowl, 900 billion premium days, and then maybe
phases.
and then maybe we'll consider giving you one.
Or buy the $400 book, which was actually the better deal in the end somehow.
Yeah. And at the end you get a Kitakami. It's like, okay. I don't know. I just don't. It's one of those things that like I don't understand. And yeah, defense is up, but it's defense. It's actually. You want to know what?
What?
Now that I'm not going to be working second shift and my whole afternoon is shot, how about I think maybe Sea Lord and I and other people as well who are more than welcome to join could do like I don't know, a series like ships I've never played but I bitch about because I have a defense. I've never been like, by gosh golly gee, I want to go play defense.
It's actually pretty fun. 14-inch guns, but they're accurate 14-inch guns too. Funny things can happen with them. Yeah. It's got the torpedoes in the bow, like the British battle cruisers. The armor is very much like Nelson, like bowing, you're going to get deleted, but if they shoot your belt angled, you're going to bounce everything,
Yeah.
It was like worth getting the defense and not getting the Kitakami. Like just stopping at the defense, getting it, and the 3 other premiums you got, and just calling it a day there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just my interaction with the defense, and this is again entirely me, is playing clan battles after the Kitakami event and seeing defenses, and then I like one shot them. And then I was like, wow, okay, so what is the point of this?
Yeah, I don't think it's a clan battleship. It's like a fun battleship, but that's about it.
Yeah, there's a few of them that you saw, and then, it's like, uh-oh, your smoke's up, and you shot.
Goodbye.
Oh, you're dead. Shot in smoke, but we're close enough to spot you. So
You're about to be like a raccoon getting hit by an 18-wheeler. Like, it's not going to be good for anybody involved. And that's kind of where I formulated my opinion, and I didn't really adjust it. Because I think I got it a few, like, the following year, I think out of Christmas crates or something. But I was like, because I did not do anything with the Kitakami event. I just could not mentally justify the investment that they were asking for. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe ships I bitch about but haven't played because I bitch about them. I don't know. Working title. But yeah. So, anyways, the Rarity System. Okay. This is also for
other items in game too.
Yes. Yeah, the other 2 things, camos and
destruction effects. Which I don't think I said this. I love the destruction effects and I love the way that they've been implemented, and I love the ones that we've gotten so far. Because you have a whole bunch of cool ones with, just slightly changing the explosion. I like the big golden laser one because it's like flexing on the pores. I like that. And then, there's also like the Popeye knockout one for, I don't know,
I think
older people.
I think that came out this update. Where the shells fly around your head, Tom and Jerry style.
Yeah,
that came out this.
Update. Like that. It's like that. I really do like that. And I guess camos are kind of. I think that it might be a good system for camos.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it being used there because it's just cosmetics, but at the same time too, some of them are harder to get. So.
My thing with the camos is though, before when they still had the economic bonuses, it was imperative to know, what gave what.
Yeah.
But with now, it's like
camos are just purely visual. So
like what looks the coolest.
Yeah.
And I don't need a golden tag to tell me the giant scorpion Yamato looks pretty cool. I don't really need that.
I think they're.
I don't know.
They're also just doing it because every other game nowadays has this, like, even like single player games. They had this rarity system in them for some reason.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that like I said, it's if this was something that was implemented earlier in the developmental cycle of the game, and I'm talking like
2017,
within a
2016.
year, yeah, I think that this would be a good system. But just right now, I think that word kind of gets around that Stalingrad is a pretty good ship to have.
Well, they said that the system doesn't even indicate the power of the ship, just how difficult it is to get.
Yeah, exactly.
So like,
and that's specifically what they said in the dev blog, as in they don't want it to talk about how OP something is or whatnot. Yeah. It's just purely about getting it. So
I don't know.
It's like like they're going with the modern gaming direction. Same thing with like Legends coming to PC, because everything's about play anywhere now. That's why you have Call of Duty on PC, console, and mobile now. So I think they're just kind of keeping up with the Joneses here, I guess, and trying to maybe appeal to a new audience.
I remember when like PUBG Mobile and Call of Duty Mobile first came out, and I had a friend with a really old iPhone who installed it to play it, and his phone died in like 2.5 weeks of him starting to play it. And that was very funny to me because he just came out and he was like, "Yeah, it just started, it got really hot, and then it smoked, and now it won't start." And I'm like, "Yeah, you use an iPhone 5C to try and run PUBG. What the fuck are you doing?" I played the mobile version a decent amount. I think that the World of Warships mobile is pretty good.
Which one? Because we have Legends mobile, and we have Blitz mobile. 2 versions of the game Blitz. on the same phone, on the same platform.
I played Blitz because I came from World of Tanks Blitz, and they gave me a whole bunch of stuff, which is also now on PC.
Yeah,
so that's good. If you have a Chromebook that I guess can't run World of Tanks, you can now run World of Tanks Blitz.
My thing is we're gonna make sure all their products can run on a toaster.
Dude, yeah,
a smart
toaster. They're all built to run on Eastern Slavic potato powered computers. These are not sure, you can scale everything up. Looks very nice. You can also run it the fuck down and run it on anything. But I don't know. Again, I digress. The other thing, actually, see, this is good. I did a little bit of pre-planning, and I can kind of bring this up. Have either of you played Naval Action?
Fortunately,
yeah,
I have not.
Good, stay away. It's really bad right now. But something that they did kind of recently was they implemented a rarity system for the ships. So I can get a Constitution, but I can get a blue Constitution, or I can get a gold Constitution. I think that before this system was in place, you just kind of had to look at the individual hull statistics to determine what rarity you got. And I think that in that situation, when there's multiple variations of the same ship, I think that a system like this is very applicable. But just to kind of, to flex on the pores and just say, I have a Kitakame, it's gold. Look at my gold banner Kitakame. It's okay. I don't know. But yeah, Legendary, Iwaki Alpha, Arkansas Beta, Kitakame, and Alabama ST and VL.
I don't know. The Alabama was short takeoff and vertical launch.
It was. That was one of the main selling points of the Sodak. And then Wisconsin, but which Wisconsin?
Are you thinking of the Missouri?
Oh yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
See, my brain is still just mushed.
That's a good question, because you can't get the OG Missouri anymore, so that should be I should have a gold Missouri. You hear that?
You should.
Gaming? For my extraordinary
they don't
effort
hear
back.
you.
No, they don't. Well, they do. I know they watch the videos. I know you do Wargaming.
Yeah, tell them.
Yeah. Not when I'm involved. They don't like me. Rarity grades will apply the ship. Okay.
You just got that little blue hue and port on your ships. See in the carousel.
Who the fuck cares about? Like,
yeah,
it's nothing. It's not even like I can go and flex on people. If this was a way that I could go and flex on people in game, okay, I'm on board. But like this, it's just. Did I get punched in the head on my way to my office? Like I forgot that the Stalingrad is kind of difficult to get. Like I don't understand.
I'd assume it would show up in like the tab in battle. But again, you gotta like hit tab and hover over them.
Yeah, but who checks that?
Exactly. That's where I was going. No one checks.
Who cares? Like I don't know, man. I just. I guess it would be kind of helpful here if you're opening a loot box.
Yeah, I mean,
because I have had people
that's what
get stuff out of loot crates, and they're like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can see why this would be added in. But again, there's so many other things that I'm assuming the UI team worked on this. Like, there's so many other parts of the UI that need to be updated and refreshed, but they worked on this first for some reason.
Yeah. You want to know what? I'm going to walk my dog here. I think that it's good because I think that it helps players who are not either as invested in World of Warships and learning. And I also think that it's good for people who are just starting off because contrary to what every doomer in this player base says,
there are new players.
I think that
there are new players.
Yeah, I know. And I think that I don't know, maybe the system would help them, but if I'm in a game and I don't understand something, or I'm confused as to how effective something is, like with War Thunder, I don't know how jets work. 3 dimensions scare me, so I always run off and I ask somebody else what an AMRAAM is versus a Phoenix versus this versus a Fox 3. I don't know what any of it means, but I ask somebody. And I don't know. Maybe they're just not doing that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think it's bad that they're doing this. I'm just confused as to why they're doing this before, like, revamping the port UI or the in-game HUD and stuff, and, like, upscaling it to 4K and such, or updating it in any way, shape, or form. Like, it's not a bad thing at all, in my opinion. It's just confusing as to why they're doing this over...
Why it was the priority.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Why is this coming out before improvements?
Maybe this was just like an easy change, and they're like, "Okay, here we go."
Does it look easy?
They added a MS Paint line next to everything. It doesn't look like it's that hard.
You gotta classify what everything is, though. And I think the biggest thing it feeds into what's in the later half of this dev blog.
Oh yeah, I haven't read this, by the way.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
No, I didn't.
The second half,
prep anything.
Oh, well, it will make more sense once we get to the second half.
Ooh, okay.
A little bit.
Okay, carousel stuff. I don't think the carousel needed more tick boxes, but okay.
There's more things to slow it down.
Okay,
more
wait a
things
minute.
To make it disappear.
One of the Rarity System's core objectives is to improve clarity and consistently. We will be implementing a standardized pricing model. There it is.
Now, what you might think, a lot of this is actually good. A lot of this is actually shaving pricing down.
I don't believe you for
except at the one specific tier
that everybody wants.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
No, that's the current range.
Oh, okay.
And that is it's honestly kind of useless because they don't ever release stuff at face value hardly anymore.
No,
it's like all Admiral bundles now.
Yeah, so they'll smack a 20% off or something on it.
Yeah.
They'll
overinflate it because of the Admiral bundle and then shave off the price. So
while dockyard ships will have a higher rarity compared to the normally available premium ships, with the introduction of the system, the overall effect and cost of completing a dockyard will remain the same as it is presently. Okay, so dockyard ships aren't changing, and they're still going to get a little bit of a buff here in terms of like their rarity rating. Table shows the level of rarity available in the premium shop and the pricing.
He's reading. For anyone listening.
Yeah, sorry. You can't see the smoke. Okay, so there's a drop tier.
If you're
at tier 8.
If you want to see the real prices, scroll down. They have like all the ships that are in the shop right now. They're old and new price.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just the first thing that pops into my head when I'm looking at this graph is, God, why did I wake up at 2 p.m. and not try and go back to sleep? But the following thought is, okay, so this is the range for tier 8 premiums, doubloon value.
Yes.
The rare is going down. The uncommon's at 11. The rare's at 13. What's to stop them from just being, like, Massachusetts is rare. Well, Massachusetts is rare, actually, kind of. But, like, never mind. Alabama is rare. 13. What's to stop that? I don't know what differentiates a rare versus an uncommon tier 8 premium.
Would be something like a mass, I do believe. Something that only is available like once or twice a year. And Alabama should be an uncommon because it's just...
anything that's currently continuously in the available or premium shop, anything that's in there right now is all uncommon.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I get
so it's specifically talking about like uncommon, and it even has it listed towards the bottom where it goes through all the ships. Like I think only the couple rares I saw that you could actually buy were like Black, Nustra, and I think a couple others for like that were coal resources. But
that's good. Even the guest did more reading than I did. That's good. That really, shows.
Not going to believe this, but the community has been kind of up in arms over this over the past week or so.
I've been unplugged on vacation.
Oh,
I think
I was on my.
I did. Other than going to dinner with Maddog and Obi, that was like the most I was on my phone. Other than that, I was basically drinking and playing at Topgolf because Topgolf is very fun. And Blue Moon pitchers in the South are a lot cheaper than they are up here. So,
I took a nice break as well, like the past week or so, and got back in and trying to grind through the dockyard right now, but fell behind with that. But yeah, I saw this dev blog coming out, and I was like, "Ooh, what is Wargaming cooking now?"
Oh, here we go.
So, TLD.
What?
Yeah.
What?
There it is.
Again, it's like anything that's currently in the armory is all uncommon, except the stipulation of like Nustra and Black, which is why they had the higher price, because they were previously steel ships that became coal ships.
Dude, my Moskva just keeps taking L's, man. This is my favorite tier 10 cruiser of all time. Carno, they should just give the Carno away. That's another.
It couldn't.
That's episode 2 of ships I don't play, but I bitch about.
That one's warranted. I have played.
That's the carrot.
And then any Japanese tier 9 premium battleship. This is Z44 should. If you wake up and you want to play a Z44, you're living in a Matrix or something. You're getting Bill Cosby. Something's happening. I don't know. The Z44 has never been.
I believe
fun.
common is tech line ships, and uncommon is basically anything that's permanently in the armory or a premium shop.
Flint, Epic, fine.
But even then, I find it weird that like they're still the coal ships. They have the Epic, like Flint, Black, and Nustra all have Epic because they were steel ships. So you'd think it'd make them harder to get, but you could just buy them in the armory. Yeah. So they're not harder to get. They just cost more. Like it's kind of misconstrued a little bit.
Maybe they're doing that to make the players that bought them at that higher price feel better by, I don't know, keeping them at their higher price.
Yeah.
My thought process is these were originally balanced to be more limited in terms of their number on the server. And then when they transitioned from steel to coal because nobody bought them or cared, they didn't adjust the ship all that much in terms of like performance. So maybe they're just like, okay, you're going to pay a little bit more on top of this because it's a little bit more of a ship. But
I mean, it made sense for the current prices. Yeah.
But I don't know.
But this ranking is supposedly specifically not about power level.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Yeah, but again, I just thinking that's kind of the really only thing that I could plug in and have it make sense in terms of why they're $25,000 more than everything else.
That's originally, it was because they were steel ships and they made them coal. But now that they have this new I mean, they're just as easy to get as any other coal ship.
Yeah.
Nowadays, right? It's not like it's rare to get now, but
no,
they just had that. It's mainly because they were steel ships is why they have that epic thing on them now, which kind of goes against it. But
how much is a Tier 9 premium currently? Hold on.
19.3. So like all the doubloon ships are cheaper. Okay. Not all, my bad. So you might have missed it. They standardized pricing between all the ship classes. So like a destroyer costs as much as a battleship now. And for like the average price overall, they have gone down. Except for like the destroyers.
Okay. Dude, I forgot I had a Velos. Oh my goodness.
Lots of people do.
I remember when Griefer and I were talking about that ship, and I felt that it was really sad that the only memorable part of the ship was the really cool, like, Hellenic warfare, like, war barge camo that it had, and that was about it, because nobody else cared about Velos. Okay, so everything's dropping 1,300. Okay.
Unless it was
not, yeah. It's hard, like, some are dropping, but some are getting more expensive because currently the price varies based on class, kind of, and even in class there's a window. Right now it's just a flat. Any new Tier 9 is going to cost 18,000.
Well, I mean, I don't know if this is me just kind of looking at it in the armory and not having the full picture here, but a Groningen costs the same as a Giuseppe Verde. They're both 1930. So I don't think that
it depends.
The big one is look at Lo Yang. Lo Yang's current price is like in the 8,000s, I think, and now it's 11.
Oh yeah, that standardization is going to hurt. I was still just talking purely about the Tier 9s, just for transparency. If you run the
numbers, there's more ships that are getting discounts than ones that are getting raised up.
Yeah.
But there are several that are getting raised up.
No.
Like Graf Zeppelin was for some reason $14,000 in the shop for some reason. Now it's 11.
Yeah, carriers are always quite expensive.
Because it's so strong.
That's what I'm saying. It's a Graf Zeppelin. I mean, you're getting like a cruiser with your carrier, so I guess there's that.
Okay. Just deal or research points. Sorry, I'm comparing as we go here. So
I believe for
63. All right, Wargaming. I want my 1,000 Research Bureau points back because I paid 63 for my Slava and it is now 62. Thank you very much.
Well, did you buy Vampire or Druid? Because it's the opposite with those. Buy those now.
Yes, I did. All right, so never mind.
Yeah.
Fuck, I have to grind out Research Bureau points. I don't have a Vampire. Shit. Oh, well.
You've got 14. I think this goes live in 14.6.
Maybe I'll bring my laptop to work. Yeah, this is. I don't know. I never had a problem with the varying costs of ships, but this standardization is interesting.
I mean, for me, I guess it kind of makes sense because why does a destroyer cost less than a battleship? It's a bunch of pixels. You're not physically buying the ship.
One's smaller than the other one, Sea Lord. Come on now.
My biggest thing is that this opens up. So all these are like rare and stuff. This opens up for them introducing stuff later down the road that is one of those epic for Research Bureau and just becomes way more expensive.
Yeah, I think
I agree.
The top tier for coal is going to be like 410,000 coal for a single ship now.
Oh, really? Is there coal?
Go back up, I think.
Let's go back up. I think it goes over the prices for each rarity per resource.
Yeah, go up one more.
Oh, yeah.
415,000 coal. There you is for a tier 10 coal ship.
I can't wait to pay that. That'll be great.
I'm looking forward to it as well.
Where is it? FR25, 7,500 doubloons. Let's go. All right. I'm gonna put this back on the main screen here. And I will immediately regret that because when I have Chrome up on my central monitor, I look
pasty.
I look anemic, and I also just look really red. My skin's not this red. I don't know. Here, because oh, hey, look. Oh, all right. There we go. Part of our continual efforts to enhance World of Warships user interfaces, we've made a series of updates aimed at streamlining the container opening experience.
Yeah, this is the best thing in the blog.
Yeah, this is all very good.
Oh, yeah, just open. Okay, so they're doing something that everybody else has been doing since the dawn of time. Okay.
Yeah.
So now you can just open containers in blocks rather than individually.
And you can skip the animation, and they have see that little interface down at the bottom? You can click on that, and it gives you a breakdown of what the container can have right then and there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Now this
is this what
this is
all
it.
Right, this is it. Vast number of premium ships have been released, making it difficult for players to navigate and evaluate their options. No.
I love the increasingly crowded armory and premium shop when I cannot remember the last time they just put something in the armory or the premium shop and left it there.
I know. Right?
my favorite part is they're like, "Oh, we're doing our job too well, and it's confusing you guys." So
it's the fact that stuff has to go through web adventures to then go to another tab, and it's just I got a message from here. It's already is hard enough to navigate it as is, just because from what they are inherently doing with their updates. So not even because of all the content available, it's the new content is what makes it.
Then you gotta get your tokens that you have to exchange for another currency. Then you can buy the ship, maybe.
The system will provide access to a wider variety of content by removing stuff from the store. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I'm sorry. It doesn't say that here. Including previously released ships such as Brisbane, Admiral Grau, Nottingham, and Numancia. 3 of those, who gives a shit? Who, dude? The one dude who's been wanting a Nottingham is punching air right now. Everybody else, nobody cares. The turn is part of the first rotation set available for doubloons, of course. And Nottingham will be available for coal. Who wants it?
Well, my stream mod actually does really want it.
I'm sorry to hear that. Do they not have?
He's British, so I mean.
Never mind. It doesn't matter. Such a bad boat. 2 new ships, Irresistible and Wilhelm de Ernest, will be available for research points and steel, respectively. 2 rare ships, San Diego and Leon, will be removed from the armory. What's Leon?
Crappy Italian destroyer.
Okay. Anyways, so they're pulling out something that nobody cared about and adding new content that they were going to add regardless.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
So, some of the wording later is very interesting too.
I should have had Furry on to lawyer this. Dude, he would have gone nuts for Cocoa Puffs over this. Ships will be separated into 1 of 4 planned release groups for rotation. The ships will be evenly distributed as possible. They will be available for 6 updates at a time. So they're just doing like a roving carousel.
Look down there. That graphic explains their plans. So they're going to have different like groups that are going to be available staggered, and then eventually, as you get rolling on, I believe they said it should be like 2 or 3 patches, and one group should be leaving, and a new group should be coming in, or something like that. Yeah, every 3 updates. So that's their plan.
Have a carousel of content.
Yeah. So
what you've been wanting.
That graph down there kind of shows how they're planning on staggering them. And then below that, that's the ships that are going to be removed and from the armory in the premium shop in 14.6. And what's really funny, they note that they are going to leave the most popular ships in, but yet you have like Kid and Sharnhorst right on front for the chopping block. Which, I mean, I see those all the time.
Yeah, they're very popular ships.
Yeah, so it's like, wait, but you're pulling the Kid and the Sharnhorst? And the Atlanta?
I love how the Chakalov is space uncommon, not uncommon.
So those are leaving in 14.6. So if you want any of those, go get them right now. Or maybe don't, because that's probably what Wargaming wants you to do.
Yeah, I'm wondering, will that change what gets put in the Christmas containers now?
I think they said that's all staying the same. I think.
Sorry, buddy, your roving graph didn't line up. You can't get a Wisconsin this year. You got to buy $900 fucking worth of crates next year.
I think go up. I think it does say like they're going to be available. Everything's going to be available in the Christmas containers, and they say apparently in a summer sell event, everything's going to be available for purchase. Yeah, look, in that last paragraph, will they become available for purchase during an annual summer festival? As one would expect, the majority of rare ships, will be present in Christmas and Santa containers. So
okay.
Now, I don't know if that means like everything's truly going to be available in the summer festival. That would be pretty neat. Probably not.
They're pulling Yahagi. No.
Bayard, my beloved.
Yeah. Collingsworth, my one true love. Never played a more sad ship in my life. No, Nottingham, actually. Nottingham, but...
La Terrible, too. That's a super popular destroyer. They're pulling it.
Well, I bet you they're pulling out La Terrible because they're sick and tired of...
It's showing up in competitive.
Yeah, every time a tier 8 anything shows up, 900 Terribles flood the matchmaking. And just run people over. It's, okay, maybe we'll try and cull the population of this. Okay, so there's a trade-in. Okay,
yeah,
you can receive Agincourt, Genova. Who cares? Gallant, West Virginia 41, Atlanta, Florida, Tashkent. Who cares? West Virginia 44, Alliance.
Yeah.
Brandenburg, Kid, Carnot. Who cares? Big. Who cares? Carl, Johann, okay, Marco Polo, who cares? Forrest Sherman, Immelman, and Napoli, and then you can.
All that.
I'm gonna just go out on a limb here and assume that you can just trade in everything for those.
Imagine trading in a small one for one of those.
Yeah, I was just thinking like, yeah, I traded in a Smolensk and a Smolensk, and I got a Max Immelman from it. This African prince needs my money. I'm gonna wire him a check right after this. Like, oh my goodness,
dude! I unironically had a kid in like my community Discord one time. He was like, "Oh yeah, I just bought this premium ship. Didn't like it. Sold it." I'm like, "Wait, what? You sold it?" Like he was buying premium ships and just selling them if you didn't like them for the credits. It's like what?
Louisiana education system. What can I say?
I hope he wasn't from here. Dang. We are better than New York now, so there's that.
Have you been to New York?
No.
Don't go to New York. All right, so that's fixed mistake. Price for key for okay. I traded in my Slava and my Loria for
a Marco Polo.
For an Atlanta.
No, it was getting removed next batch. I had to.
Someone
we didn't
will
just
do
need
that.
all that
Someone
tonnage anymore.
will do that, I promise you.
Mm-hmm. I will be right there to laugh at them. I don't know. This is weird. I don't think I'm a very big fan of the rotation because it's artificially inducing FOMO, I think.
Yep.
And the other thing that's really funny is I don't think there's enough newer content to justify that. If that makes sense.
That's why they're yoinking out all their ships out of the premium shop and armory.
Yeah, but it's like it's artificially you're artificially creating FOMO.
Oh yeah, definitely.
To sell stuff that you already have, and that's kind of funky. To be generous in my eyes. Yeah, I don't really like that. And then I don't know, the standardization, it's okay. Some prices are going down. Some of the destroyers are just getting lambasted, which I think is not the best idea, but it's a standardization, so it's across the board. It's not like they came out and
we'll lead one ship in.
Yeah, the thing I can say is maybe they gave you a little more time, but
yeah,
they at least gave you something. So
no. Now, it's one thing very near and dear to my heart that I am going to talk about that I forgot came back. Because when I got the email, I was on vacation. The Warhammer collab has come back. It's all the same stuff from last time, so I'm not getting anything. But some of these camos are really cool. Some of these are just like redone older camos. Like if you guys are in the game, if you go to the Warhammer tab and then you go down to Protector of the Faith, that just looks like it just looks like a redone earlier camo. But like the Eternal Crusader is good, the Red Threat's good, the Primordial Annihilator's good. We're also getting return of pretty cool ships. The Ignis Purgatio, and the Ragnarok, Cross of Dorn, and Ship Smasher. If you'd like my opinion on which ships to get and which ships not to get, Ragnarok is really cool because Rockthar the Cold just kind of screams like a crackhead the whole time if you use him as a captain, and I think that's neat. The Cross of Dorn is good as well because it is a mines, so doesn't mines with cool camo, like it's gonna do well. The Ignis is a clone of the Ragnarok, just with a different skin. They're basically I think they're a B hull Amagi with slightly less dispersion. Yeah, I think they have like a 2.1 Sigma as opposed to I think 1.8, which you can feel, and there's a massive 2 seconds added to the reload time to offset that. As I said previously, I'm not the biggest fan of Japanese battleships in game. I like these two; they're both very cool. Ship Smasher is what's the Pan Asian tier 8 Fenyang? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a Fenyang. So I think it has less HE pen for no reason. This one's a little rough. So I don't know. I would just kind of do the either the Ragnarok or the Ignis and the Cross of Dorn, because the mines is always going to be good, regardless of your play style. But yeah, so that's my little Warhammer crash out. I'm really happy that for this Dunkirk event, they have a lot of really nice camo, like Home Fleet Gray and stuff like that. And they're putting, I like that a lot of this kind of Dunkirk stuff is coming back. We have the Warspite, we have the Eskimo, Mr. Victor Crutchley. I think that's all very cool.
Wish they would have brought the operation back. That would have made a lot of sense for this update.
I honestly thought that they did.
They did not.
Yeah, it's the card game, as you said.
Yeah,
which is kind of like
a card game in their warships game.
Yeah. I'm gonna try this right now. We're gonna see how this goes. I lost. Well, that was fun. Anyways. Ooh, I'm gonna get a tug. Hold on. Actually, wait, dude. This is the 21st century. Wait a minute.
Let's see,
we can do this.
Why aren't you streaming it?
Yeah, wait a minute. All right, which should I get? We're gonna.
I always get the one with the highest number.
It's a trawler though. It's debuff afterburner. What?
Afterburner.
All right, we're gonna get a trawler. All right.
These are all your cards? Yeah.
Yeah, so you just got all the base ones.
All right, let's try it. Okay. All right. I don't
What the
I didn't read any of the instructions.
Attack.
So essentially all the stuff in red but nerfs the icon on the top if they match. All the stuff in green buffs the ships next to it. And so the arrows point to what it will buff or nerf. Right? So red is the cards you're going up against, green is the ones you're doing.
The Steamboat will win against the Stuka.
Steamboat one. I completed a tutorial, I guess.
I've heard that the card game's actually quite good.
It's decent. You only get 3 uses on each card before they have to get redone. So, but the ones that you're doing right now get the points. The ones above give you the tokens that let you get more cards. So there's a certain balance of like you use them to get more cards. So the ones in blue get you the tokens that get you more cards. So you just faced off a red one, which gives you the points to progress in the like battle pass type thing at the bottom. So those get you those. The red ones do the evacuation points, and then the blue give you modifiers and the tokens to get new cards.
That's a big number.
The big ship.
They get even bigger green. Don't you worry.
I like me some big things.
What was the ocean liner that was disguising itself as an ocean liner, but it was armed, and then it ran into the German ocean liner disguising itself as that ship that was also armed?
Oh yeah, that World War I bullshit. Again, World War I was a horrible conflict. Bad take there, but like the Looney Tunes ass shit that happened during World War I is always very interesting to learn about.
Identify yourself. Oh, we're actually you. Wait a second.
Wait a minute.
What? Spider-Man pointing me?
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Oh yeah, baby. Oh my god, the number got bigger. We're sucking
because you buffed
baby.
It. Yeah.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, the green cards, the green arrows buff the allied ships.
Yeah.
So you're not, yeah. So.
Watching addiction take hold right now.
I know.
Dude, I can see why people like Azure. No, I can't. My parents loved me as a child. All right, we're gonna do one more, and then we'll. All right, there you go, bitch.
And so you also have so if the cards that got one of those bars done, so don't you could do the modifiers that give them like an extra repair.
Oh,
So you can keep the card around.
I want you to put the sailing yacht against the field artillery and see who would win.
John Catling. This John Catling.
It's him. It's John Catling.
Real. It's real.
It's the real John Catling.
Yep.
All right, this is addicting. I'm going to be doing this till the end of time. Never mind. Don't bring back D-Day. This is good.
He's changed his mind.
He's changed his mind. I've flippy floppy. All right. How's our time doing?
You're at 1 hour, 10 minutes.
All right, that's good. We have time to. We have a massive slew of changes to go through on this dev blog.
Oh yeah, the next one.
Yeah, this one
quite a lot.
Hopefully fit on screen.
Yeah, I don't know if it will.
Might have to zoom out.
Yeah. So, anyways, why do they post this? Okay, Protector Sigma goes up 0.10. Okay. The heavy repair party goes up. Okay. D-Tech go down. Okay. Fighter flight. The accuracy is increased and heavy repairs. Who knew gutting the heavy repairs last patch cycle would be a bad idea? And Sigma went up from 1.9 to 2.1.
Not enough time for all that.
All right. So, anyways, that's all we have for that dev block. So, do we want to talk about the elephant in the room?
I think we should.
All right. Hold on, I'll fire it up. So for those of you who don't know, a lot of people who play World of Warships also regrettably play War Thunder. And War Thunder has just launched a very, very large devlog trailer, which I would show, but this is a World of Warships podcast, and I don't think you guys need to see that. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is if you look at the introductions from a purely World of Warships standpoint, they're comical. So for those of you who don't know, they are adding some new battleships to World of Warships, or to War Thunder, rather. The US is getting the Iowa class. Germany is getting the Bismarck and the Gneisenau with 15-inch guns as a premium. Russia is getting the Sovietsky Soyuz and the Sevastopol, which is Gneisenau guns on a Sevastopol. So, like me. Britain is getting Vanguard, so Britain will continue to be irrelevant in the naval, War Thunder Naval, which is kind of funny. And Japan is getting Yamato. He's getting Roma, but it's Roma. That's it. But it's just kind of funny from the perspective in terms of balance and the perspective in terms of progression, which is something that a lot of people complain about in World of Warships, which I never really understood. I've had a lot of people who've been like, being a like a Bayern or a Fuso or something, and having to fight tier 8s and tier 9s is just not really enjoyable, which I understand from a WoW's perspective. But now it's going to be Congos fighting Iowas and Sovietsky Soyuzes and Bismarcks, which is going to be very, very interesting in terms of the development of War Thunder Naval. There's other ships in there, like there's the Mutsu, the Amagi, but it's a very stock hull Amagi. And then even for the U.S., the highest tier ship is the Colorado, and then they're going right to Iowa. They're skipping North Carolina and Sodak, which skipping those two, I really feel like is something you should be beaten in the street for doing, because North Carolina and the South Dakotas played such a pivotal role in the development of U.S. naval shipbuilding and just U.S. naval theory in general, but that's okay. We'll go from Colorado to Iowa. They both have 16-inch guns. They're the same.
Would you like to hear how they describe the Yamato's armor on their official website?
Yes,
They say, and I quote, "Very thick armor." That's it.
That's incredible. Do you want to know what's funny? The Soyuz has more armor.
Does it say extremely very thick armor?
No, it just says armor. The other thing that's always very funny to me is, a lot of these ships on this list were built, and the two ships representing a specific nation weren't built.
The common theme, no matter what, apparently.
Would you, I don't know. But it's funny, to be the game that prides itself on historical accuracy, but here we are.
Dude, I don't know. The War Thunder damage model, just if you have the bigger gun and naval, you just kind of win. So now,
yes and no. It also depends on the shell, because
yeah,
I have the Atlanta, and there's been times where I'm able to crip walk at Indianapolis's and just beat them down because I have SAP and they're shooting AP and it's just overprinting me. So yeah, the way that War Thunder naval balance kind of works is if you're in a battleship, you win. If you're not in a battleship, you get ditty touched, and that's kind of how the balance works.
Yeah.
So, and then if you're in a battleship and another battleship comes over, it's a 50-50 if you get ditty touched. I remember the first time I played a battleship, it was great. I one shot a Chapayev, and I was like, this is incredible. And then I got one shot by a dreadnought, and I was like, oh, this is horrible.
When was the last time you played naval? Because I'll not play it for 6 months, and then I'll go back, and usually they have some wild changes from last time I played to the current time that I played.
They added some weird hit point hull system that isn't a hit point hull system, so that's neat. It's kind of do either of you guys play Tarkov?
A little bit.
Okay, so there's instances in Tarkov where you'll get shot at and your limb will get blacked, and then you have to use a specific repair kit to fix it. There's been times where I'm playing War Thunder Naval and the front half of my ship just gets blacked. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. Because I just lose all of the
crew.
Everything in those front compartments. And it's kind of funny because I've had instances where all of my compartments are heavily damaged, but I still have 80% crew. So it doesn't, my boat's still fine. Yeah. So I don't.
That happens with the Shorn Horse. Because the armor is just so thick. Yeah. Everything can be destroyed, but your crew's still just chilling in the Citadel because nothing can Citadel it. So,
well, new kids on the block. It's gonna get ditty touched.
Yeah.
What, do you have a Scharnhorst?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you're gonna get ditty touched, dude. You already get ditty touched because the Nelson's in the game.
Yeah, when they added in the bigger guns, I could just walk toward anything and just murder it. Now it's oh no. My power is...
Now the Nelson is I have decided you will die, and therefore you will die.
Yeah. I don't know. The balance...
And it's not World of Warships where you can just punch it in the nose.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't know. It's just interesting what they've done with it over the years, because I remember when I first started playing it, I'd have to lean into my monitor and be squinting at the ships that were so far away. And now, when you spawn in, your secondaries are already automatically... Or your AA guns are trying to shoot the other ships because they're so close now. So it's just weird. They've gone for me we're going to do it super realistic. And then they just started shoving them together closer and closer and closer.
Yeah. I really like the damage models and the internal modules. I've always been a really big fan of how War Thunder does that. Because it's nice to see where everything is. Because I think it gives a better idea as to where to aim. Mm-hmm. Because I'm not going to dump a battleship salvo into your fire directors, but I will hit your boilers and they will explode, which, I think is
I have gone.
I think it's really kind of neat system.
Yeah, I have gone from not liking it over my years of playing it to be like, all right, I get it. It's different, but it's neat. But the thing is, like, my thing is like, this is like, I mean, this is a lot, but this is still like too little, too late for the mode to save it. You're gonna get a bunch of people that are gonna get on. They're gonna hear about all these new ships. They're gonna realize, oh, I gotta play this for like a year,
9 years,
yeah, to get one of these things. Oh, no.
The other thing, we discussed it beforehand. I've had games where like I've had times where I'm in the queue and I'll just get dropped into a naval EC game, and it's like 2 hours long. I think that sucks. Why am I automatically opted into that? Why is that not in a separate queue?
Because you'd be sitting in
I cannot
matchmaking for 5 minutes otherwise.
Ugh. I don't know.
Oh, that was a funny thing that people would be like, "Oh, you're lying about the queue taking so long," and then like in my most recent War Thunder video, there's like 2 instances of me having the queue on screen fast forwarded to the 5-minute mark. It's like, well,
yeah. My thing, I just really enjoy playing like the Sommers and a lot of those really large U.S. destroyers, because all of those matches are a high enough BR where it's not Papa Hodunk's PT boat versus Papa Igor Vladinsky's PT boat. You know, it's like larger ships, but it's not cruiser and battleship spam as bad. Like I'll have to fight in Omaha, which even in War Thunder Naval, Omaha is a big destroyer. But yeah, it's great to just be able to run around in my Sommers and just start like hobo jumping people, because you can just bang around an island at 45 miles an hour. But yeah, I don't know. I thought that some of the World of Warships people would get a kick out of that.
Oh yeah, no, I was jumped on Friday night's live stream. They were like, "Sealer, have you seen the latest War Thunder trailer?" I'm like, "Yeah." All 12 people that play Naval are probably pretty happy about that.
Yeah. I mean, I would be really cool. I think it's pretty cool. It's just
too late.
It's so easy to get into Naval, and it's very hard to stay good, because I can only take
so much of
getting molested so many times before I'm like, I'm gonna go do something else.
Oh, another thing, like that it's also the same thing that makes ground very aggravating, is that you kill a dude, okay, turns out he's God's strongest pilot, and he's going to come back in a plane. He's going to destroy your battleship with a single bomb, because he's going to put right down the middle of your funnels, and then now you're dead.
Wah, German Navy experience. Wah. What's anti-aircraft guns? That's all I'm hearing, dude. Again, me and my American ships. Yeah, you want to come over in your little Japanese torpedo bomber, buddy? I am going to obliterate you and every atom near you with the amount of 20 mil, 25s, 40 mils that I'm throwing up. That's not even including the main guns with radio fuses and radar fuses. Have fun.
Works, huh? Maybe I've
shot like B-17s and like PE-8s from like 18 kilometers away, because some of the ships will have search radars, and it's just like, yeah, I just have to put it vaguely here, and the VT fuse will do the rest. But yeah. Anyways, that's enough about War Thunder. Do we want to talk about competitive? Do we not want to talk about competitive?
Or
to you guys.
We're at an hour 22, so got about 10 minutes left to reach the standard run time.
I think that it would be better to save a competitive discussion for the beginning of a competitive season. The main reason why I brought this up is... Pardon?
So if you want to hit the normal run time, I don't think you could fit it into like a 10-minute little thing. That's a pretty lengthy discussion.
Yeah, that's the other kind of thing as well. But the reason why I wanted to kind of bring that up is Maddog kind of knows how to play the game okay. So I figured he would be a very interesting person to kind of talk to. Wow, you're not going to rise to debate on that?
Yeah, I mean, I play the game at higher level, so competitive level. So
he's humble. It's a Southern thing. I'm not humble.
Yeah,
I'll tell everybody I'm a purple
decent
player.
Yeah, I tell people that ask, I tell that we finished third place internationally, but
So there you go. There it is.
Yeah, there it is. But
yeah, I think that would be a little bit. I think that would be a better discussion to have closer to the upcoming season.
You got Trident Trials coming up next week, Greene.
That as well. Are you guys? How many teams have you guys thrown up for that? Just one?
We're just doing one for Resin, yeah.
No. We are. I think we're on 2. I think Y's throwing one together.
And Z as well?
Yes. Yeah, it'll be good to put you guys in the dirt. So.
Oh, okay. Nice friendly banter, I see.
Oh yeah, a little bit of banter. Come on, I swore in front of Obi's kids. Do you really think I'm above a little bit of banter? That was.
Yeah, I did too. So you and I were.
Yeah, but you didn't get yelled at about it.
Oh. You gotta know your time, Greene.
I don't. But yeah. All right. So yeah, we'll save that. And actually, would you want to come on next week and kind of have a little Trident debrief for the following week? If you're going to be playing, because I'm not going to be playing.
I think it's 2 days. So do you want it like after the first day or?
I think maybe at the end, I think would be a good idea. So I think maybe the following week.
All said and done. Yeah, okay. Yeah. In 2 weeks then?
Yeah, 2 weeks, I'd say.
Yeah, that can work.
We can have a few people
on. Get a friend on too, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can have somebody on. I'll see about some of the Z people. I don't know.
Yeah. I'll inquire.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. Yeah, I always like to hear your guys' kind of perspective and everybody's perspective on things. So, and I'm just so completely far out of the fucking loop. So,
yeah.
I'm just coming back from a vacation and I basically had to unplug for a few months there when I was working second shift. I just didn't have any time for anything. So, but I am coming back on station now for better or for worse. All right. Well, that's enough rambling. I think we hit the magic mark there. And Mr. Maddog, I'd like to thank you very, very much for joining us. Hopefully this was not a waste of an hour and a half.
No, it was not. Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Yeah. And Mountbatten, as always, have a fantastic week. Have a safe week. And I hope your house doesn't explode or something.
That's about the only thing left, but we'll see.
No. I sent you a package of termites. Don't open anything.
Funny enough, my sister's house did have some termites in it. She found her new house too.
And on that bombshell.
Oh no!
People aren't meant to live there, dude. Like,
we live below. We're like 10 feet below the sea level. So I mean, I guess that's.
Yeah, I know. That's every time I talk to people from the south, they're like, "Yeah, my house is really cool. I have to pay $900 billion a year in flood insurance because I live at the bottom of old Pictushmedy Gorge, and I'm right next to the ocean." And it's like, why do you live there? Oh, it's nice. No, it's not.
We don't even have nice beaches around here. It's really
nice.
Cheap.
That's why
it is. That's true.
It's cheap, other than the flood insurance.
Oh, you're not wrong, but
I know I'm not wrong. That's why I'm saying it. Ugh. All right. Well,
goodbye, everybody. What an outro.
Goodbye.